Sometimes you just have those experiences in your life that you look back on fondly. They make you reminisce. Think about the way things used to be and just laugh at how much you and your life have changed. And then, as that moment passes, you lean back in your creaky rocking chair and say to yourself, this would make a pretty good YouTube video. Well, my friends, as you have probably already figured out, I recently had one of those great moments. Now, I'm sure the only thing you want to know right now is what stupid thing did I do to catch my hair on fire? But hold on, buddy. I gotta give you some of that good old juicy exposition. So I have a job. No, Mom. I'm not just talking about YouTube. I got a life, I swear. My job can basically be summed up as taking pictures and videos and all that crap. One day, someone I work with came up to me and was like, yo, wanna take some pictures of some bees? And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yes, this is my perfect chance to see if bees really do have things like pools and cars and communism. So the day of the job arrives and I head out to the beehives. Now to get to the beehives, I had to drive through some restricted areas. When I first drove up, the entrance was still blocked off. So I just decided to drive around the back neighborhood, hoping the gate would be open when I come back, because I'm awkward like that. And hey, for once, my awkwardness paid off, and the gate was open when I came back. After driving through the first gate that said, like, do not enter and stuff, I had to drive through the second gate that was like, seriously, do not enter. Then I had to drive through a third gate that was like, this is your final warning. By passing through this gate, you sell your soul to the devil and agree not to sue us for it. Please and thank you. I drove through and parked in front of the beehives and met the beekeepers. They told me that because they preferred a more natural approach and because these bees were tame, they didn't use beekeeper suits. However, they did keep a bee smoker on them just in case of emergencies. They also told me that I had picked out a perfect outfit for the day. I was wearing a red hoodie and light pants, and apparently, bees are less likely to sting you if you wear lighter clothing. They tend to try and sting people with darker colored clothing because they're afraid they look like bears. But even though I was dressed safely, she did tell me that should the bees get angry and start chasing at me, the best thing for me to do would be to run and hide inside my car. Well, that's reassuring. Now, another important note is that there were two separate beehives there. Now, one beehive had been around for a while, was comfortable around people, and would only get angry if you threatened them. The other hive, though, they were basically angry at everything and would try to sting everyone. They were the emo bees. So they opened up the nice hive, did a routine checkup on them, and I was taking pictures, and everything was going great. I learned a lot about bees, and they were surprisingly cute. Although, one of the things I did learn was that during the winter time, since the worker bees who collect pollen have no use, the colony kills them all and throws their bodies out of the hive. Also, the queen of the hive actually has no power at all, and it's kept alive at the will of the colony. And should she do anything the colony doesn't like, they will turn on her, murder her, and throw away her body. Bees are vicious, man. It's like Game of Bees out here. Or maybe Bees of Thrones. I don't know. Still working on my pitch for HBO. Anywho, after we finished taking pictures of the nice hive, I was feeling a lot safer around the bees. But then we moved on to the emo bees, and it was like night and day. As soon as the hive was opened, these little buggers were like yelling obscenities, and the beekeepers were all like, well, here goes nothing. They reach in to pull out one of the slides from the hive, and suddenly a whole swarm of bees leaps out from the hive and starts buzzing around them. Now I, being the awkward coward that I am, had chosen to stand a good 10 feet away from the hive so that none of the bees would choose to go after me. Well, while the rest of the hive was checking out the beekeepers, one lone bee had a different plan. This bee saw me off in the distance and just said, "Oh, you think you can get away with what you've done? We know the pictures you've taken. We didn't fill out any photo consent forms. It's time for you to die." So this bee jumps right out of the hive and makes a beeline, pun intended, right for my head, jumps into my hair, and immediately starts stinging me. Now I'm just standing there frozen in fear, and I don't know what to do. So I just keep on taking pictures, acting like nothing even happened. But then my head really starts to hurt, and this bee starts buzzing louder and louder and won't leave my hair. So I just turn to the beekeepers and say, I think there's a bee in my hair. And they rush over to me and they're like, is it stinging you? And I'm like, I think so. So they reach into my hair and start shaking their hands through it to try to knock the bee out. But this little hecker is so determined to kill me that he doesn't budge at all and just starts buzzing louder. Then they tell me to start shaking my head to try to make the bee fall out. So I start doing the best gosh darn head banging of my life. and this little fella still won't move. At this point, there really is only one thing left for us to do. The beekeepers reach for the smoker and put it up against my head to try and calm the bee down. As they're pumping the smoker, I begin to notice that things are feeling a bit warm on the top of my head. And then before I even know what's happening, I hear one of the beekeepers yell, "Oh my God, his hair is burning." My hair had caught on fire, and yet this still didn't calm the bee down. So they stop using the smoker and then try to brush my hair to make all the burning stop. Eventually, the bee begins to calm down and we knock it out of my hair. Now for me, it was a pretty traumatic experience, but all I could do in the moment was laugh. I just couldn't stop laughing because this whole thing was so ridiculous. So here the beekeepers are trying to help me and are asking if I'm okay or if I'm allergic to bees or anything, and I'm just sitting there laughing. So then I tell them I'm fine, and we all basically knew at that moment that I should probably just head back to the office for the day. In the car when I got back, I took this picture of my hair. Oh man, was I one crispy boy. Every time I rubbed my hand through my hair, pieces would just fall out. I really wanted to get a haircut that day, but it just didn't end up working out with my schedule. The look of my hair wasn't the best, but what was absolutely unbearable was the smell. Oh my lord, it was bad. I just wore a ball cap for the rest of the day. Trust me, it was better for everyone. So yeah, that's the story of how my hair caught on fire because of one angry bee boy. Let me know what you thought of this video. It was a new kind of format I've been wanting to experiment with for a while now and just see how it turns out. If you're new here and want some more videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all I've got for now. See you later, my dudes.